Well, look, I'm not going to defend Mike McCarthy and his lack of time management or timeout management, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to say Dak Prescott. Look, the numbers don't tell the story of Dak's poor play. He had over 200 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So if you just look at the box score, you think, Dak was pretty good. No, he wasn't. He was inaccurate all night. He had several passes deflected at the line of scrimmage. He looked more like the guy that's been struggling since he got back from the calf injury than the guy we saw a week ago light up the Washington football team. And let me remind everybody, that's a 6-10 Washington football team. Everybody wanted to put them in the Super Bowl after Dallas ran over them last week. But no, that team is a bad team, and we got to see what they can do against a good team, and it wasn't pretty. And Dak Prescott, you guys know I've pounded this, and I like Dak. I've been saying for the last 2 years that Dak Prescott is en route to becoming elite, en route to becoming a guy that can carry the team on his shoulders against good teams when the running game isn't there. But guess what? He isn't there yet. He's not. And that is a problem. Once again, they meet a good team, and Dak can't get it done, and they lose. He entered this season, Nick, 13-20 against teams with winning records. And this year he is 2-4 against teams with winning records. And they've lost their last 3 against such teams. And Dak needs a running game. It's as simple as that. And yesterday they didn't get it. And I'm not sure they're going to get it in the playoffs. They have 45 yards rushing yesterday. Ezekiel Elliott, in 7 of the last 8 games, Nick, he has failed to get 4 yards a carry. So Tony Pollard, I don't know if he's not the same because of the foot or what, but they have problems. So, yeah, I'm concerned about Dak and his ability to lead them in the playoffs to victories.
Oh, there's a crushing loss for them. If they won, they would likely be the 2 seed. Instead, now they're almost assuredly the 4 seed. That is a brutal spot. As the 2 seed, you're playing either Philly or San Francisco or New Orleans. As the 4 seed, you're playing Arizona or the Rams in round 1. We just saw Arizona beat them. The Rams obviously could beat them. It's a brutal loss for them. And on Dak, I actually was talking with Cowherd about this last night, which was Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, for their whole careers have been ahead of Dak. But then, it was like, hey, is Dak the next guy on that list? Like Russell Wilson takes a step back. But now it feels like Dak got jumped in the line. Like Herbert's better than him, I think. Burrow might be better than him. Some people would, I wouldn't, but some people would say Josh Allen's better than him. Like that Dak, while he's supposed to be in the prime of his career, he didn't only not catch up to the guys who are already better than him, but some new wave of quarterbacks came in. Is Kyler better than him? Certainly some people would say absolutely. So right. I think there are legit concerns about Dak. But Wilds, that is not the story. The story is Mike McCarthy and his nonsense clock timeout game management cost him again. And it cost him in the most mortifying fashion possible. Why didn't they have a timeout here to either stop the clock and have a chance to get the ball back or challenge and maybe win the challenge to get the ball back? You didn't have a timeout because you got tricked. You got outmaneuvered by Cliff Kingsbury. You lost a game of I Spy to Mr. Magoo. How do you let that happen, my friend? You let Cliff Kingsbury ran a play where he has Matt Prater lined up as the wide receiver, and McCarthy panicked. He panicked and blew a timeout. Timeouts in the second half, when you're trailing, much less trailing by 2 scores, they're worth more than gold. They are worth more than Bitcoin. You hold on to them. You do not let them go. You caress them and you say, I'm going to need you later, precious timeout. I'm not going to blow it because I'm worried the Cardinals are about to run a 4th and 5 from the 8 with Prater running a dig route. What are you doing, McCarthy? So listen, sometimes the train is never late. And the Mike McCarthy game management train is never late, my friend. And it would be funny if it wasn't so sad This is a good Cowboys team that should be better than their current record. And some of us have only been saying it, dating back to when McCarthy was living in the barn pretending to watch game film and then studying advanced analytics when he should have actually just been playing Madden. You know what they should have set up in the barn? And forget a PS5, an old PS2, and McCarthy, you're in here until you can win 6 in a row against a junior high student. You can't come out until you do that. And so, yeah, it's McCarthy, man. It's McCarthy.
Okay. Was he living in the barn, or he would just go to the barn to study film? I never realized
he was living
that.
Spent many hours in the barn.
Ah.
Yeah.
I think he had a cot.
Him and Mac Jones. Surprised you didn't see Mac Jones there. Hey, Broussard, I think this is why I'm not so down on Dak. Dak didn't play great, dirted a few passes. But if the refs either get that call right, or McCarthy somehow holds on to a timeout and challenges, I think it would have been an overturn. And I think the Cowboys win. I think that it's such a demoralizing turnover for the Cardinals. And I know we're playing what if, and this could have happened. But that's why I still think if Dak wins that game, we sort of erase the rest of the poor game he had. The same way Tom Brady didn't have a great game, but he leads an ending drive. Like, oh, yeah, Tom Brady's still the GOAT. It's all fine. So do you think that the lack of a turnover robbed Dak of an opportunity to win the game? Because I do.
I don't think the Cowboys were going to win that game. They obviously had a nice little rally, but they were outplayed for the most part the whole game. It was bad. Maybe they would have come back and won, but I think that this, again, a nice wake-up call. Remember I said last week, if Arizona loses this game, it's a disaster. If the Cowboys lose it, it's a wake-up call. They have to look in the mirror. They beat 4 pretty, mediocre teams, and everybody start thinking they're going to the Super Bowl, right? And so now they need to realize we're not quite what we thought we were. And the defense, Wilds, everyone was praising the defense. Oh my God, oh gosh, look at this defense. They're giving up. I mentioned the 6 games they played against teams with winning records. Dak's 2-4. They've given up 26 points a game to those 6 winning teams. All right, against the losing teams that they play, they've given up 17 points a game. So the defense has been getting fat and happy against scrubs for the most part. I know they held Kansas City to 19, but the defense isn't as good as we all thought it was either. So this is good. Go back to the drawing board. Maybe somebody can get McCarthy a game of Madden over the next week or two, Nick, and then they can get themselves together.
He's not allowed. No, McCarthy's Game Pass has been revoked. He's not allowed. But this is terrible for Dallas. I just want to be very, very clear about this. They are now going to, in round 1, be playing either the Rams or the Cardinals. We know that with like 98% certainty. If they win that game, they will then either be going to Green Bay or to Tampa. The Cowboys had to be a top 2 seed to have a chance to overcome their obvious coaching deficiency, and one could argue, of the quarterbacks of the 5 NFC teams that matter, Dak's not playing like the best one. Is he playing like the worst one? Stafford's had some struggles, Kyler's had some struggles, but Dak's right in there. They had to be a top 2 seed, Jenna. They're now going to be the 4 seed. They are more likely to lose in round 1 now than to go to the conference championship game. It's a disaster for them.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.